Hey everybody, and welcome to my in5 series where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. The sound technician writes in and is asking about incorporating effects pedals and says, I have several effects pedals, including the Mood Mark II, the Roland Space Echo, and the Strymon Night Sky. Where in the signal chain would you suggest placing these pedals to embed their effects onto tracks made with either sampler? I'm going to start by saying this really depends on what your recording process is. It's super hard to give perfect advice because there's tons of use cases, and it sounds like you get enough hardware that it depends on the order of how you're going to do things. But I'll explain what I have set up here just so that you can maybe understand what I'm trying to do. First of all, I've stripped my setup way down and tried to simplify it greatly. So the first thing I would actually suggest is using a patch bay so that you can get the inputs and outputs and reroute things on the fly. I don't have one in front of me, but I used to have one in my setup and I got rid of it mostly because, as I said, I'm trying to just simplify things and kind of get a sense for what I do need and don't need. Given that, though, what I have set up right now is the TX6 is functioning as my mixer, and it's allowing me to get audio from everything mixed together over my computer so I can record in OBS. I'm explaining that because, I don't know, I figure that's kind of what I'm doing. The microphone is actually coming in through this aux cable, TRRS cable, and the reason why I have things set up the way I do is I'm using a pre-fader aux send. So I can play the OP1 here, and you might be able to see the LED is lighting up here, and now it's gone. And what I can do is if I turn this all the way down, I won't hear it, but I have it routed to go out the aux, which happens to be this cable right here, which is then going into the guitar pedal. So I'm getting this into the guitar pedal signal path, and I have that, anything that goes through the guitar pedals is going to the input on the MPC. That does mean things could be a little tricky or might end up adding additional signal noise, but I can basically route anything I want from the TX6 to the aux signal path to go through the guitar pedals, and then it goes into the MPC. So the MPC is going to be my primary recording place for kind of prepping things, getting recorded and all that based on how I have this set up. And you can see as I'm pushing the buttons here, I am getting signal. So all I have to do to hear it is just turn monitoring on. And, it sounds about the same. Sometimes you might pick up a little bit of overdrive or distortion if it goes too loud, but it works fine. And I can then do things like turn on reverse mode C and get like those extra little reverse delay effects. And if I want, I can record it into mood, slow it down, and kind of do like some maybe basic sound design, but I can do it over here and get some like kind of drill in those sounds that I want, and then I can just record it into the Akai MPC. Now your next question might be, well, what if you want the MPC to be able to be affected by the SP404 Mark II? So I'll do this again. Let's get like a little something going here. So we get like a drone. Maybe I want to run it through Lossy or something. I can then just come in and record this. And I don't know, I don't probably need more than that. That's fine. Let's call this pad. Do it. We'll just assign it to this pad here. I'll go keep it. Let's turn that off. Oh, I guess I didn't hit the assign button. We'll fix that. So, I did hit it. It's just that I forgot. This program is now set to go to out 3 and 4 from some previous videos. So it's going, actually, I have my outputs 3 and 4 going directly to the SP404 Mark II. So now if I want to preview what something would sound on the SP404 Mark II, I can play it. So turn it on, turn it off. And then I can do sound sculpting over here. Get like super crazy. But as I said, I know I would say it's not necessarily the ideal way to do this. I would probably consider using a patch bay, but a mixer is going to will at least a lot of them will let you do an aux send so that you can send your audio through at least one signal chain, which is what I'm effectively doing here right now, is using the aux send to kind of get into my special signal chain, and then everything else is kind of routed through the mixer or the MPC to get it involved in other things. A couple other notes is if I actually want to add in a couple extra instruments, I still have my USB-C open and available on the SP404 Mark II, so it's really not that hard for me to add in like an iPad. If I want to record from a synth, I can just put the iPad, connect that into the back of the SP404 Mark II, and I do have the mic and guitar port on the front, so I can still get a mono signal in as well, and it just gives like lets the SP404 Mark II be able to be a bit of a landing place for plenty of sounds and still be able to use it in the workflow. And um, yeah, pretty simple setup in some ways, but can be a little bit complicated if you don't know what's going on. But I'd say definitely if you get some guitar pedals and you got the Akai MPC and the SP404 Mark II, if you get the live, which I think you said you have the live, I would consider using your outputs 3 and 4 or 5 and 6 on your MPC, put those into the the SP404 Mark II's inputs, and you could then have a chain where you go from the SP404 Mark II into your guitar pedals and then back into your MPC line in and create basically an effects loop where you have in the middle, you have the SP404 Mark II where you can record stuff, or put the SP404 Mark II at the end of that guitar pedal chain so that it can then still record those sound design effects. I happen to put these kind of on their own side, off to the side through the mixer, but that's how I would consider doing it. There's a few different ways. There's a million ways to hook these things up. And I would say, kind of think about it for purpose, but definitely check out patch bays. They should help you out a lot and simplify things dramatically by allowing you to repatch things without having to rip apart your entire studio. Anyway, thanks for the question. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good, and peace.